is with great satisfaction that Azorian government supports this conference, and I would like to thank to GSTC for choosing the Azores for it. A todos os presentes, muito boa noite. Umas breves palavras para agradecer, em nome do Governo dos Açores, a presença de todos vós hoje aqui, mas principalmente nos próximos dias em que recebemos o Congresso Anual da GSTC. Um agradecimento igualmente a todos aqueles que connosco tornaram possível que este importante evento decorresse no nosso arquipélago, mas em especial aqui na Ilha Terceira. Esta é mais uma prova que temos capacidade para receber este tipo de eventos na região, ao mesmo tempo que permitirá projetar os Açores a nível internacional no que diz respeito ao desenvolvimento sustentável por via de um setor tão importante como é o turismo. E amanhã terei a oportunidade de falar da atividade turística no nosso arquipélago, da sua importância, do seu dinamismo e dos nossos compromissos e responsabilidades. Que sejam 2 dias intensos de debate, reflexão, sempre com a perspectiva de tornar melhor a nossa região. Muito obrigada e um bom jantar a todos.
This will be the place in the next 2 days to learn, to hear, to debate everything that is related with our future in terms of sustainability.
Are often combined with an irresponsible behavior in response to the great challenges facing our planet. Global warming, pollution, biodiversity loss, deforestation, food waste, etc.
The first thing, it's not just about leadership, but it's also about what they're able to do is establish a vision with community and government and operators about what they want their destination to be for their people. So it's not just about sustainability, it's about what the future lifestyle of the region was to be about. Vision's one thing, but the other thing they had was a mandate for action. And that means that the government recognised the need to appoint a coordinator. George and Carolina, and I met their green team today. We talk about green teams, but they're the guys that do the hard work. They're the guys that collect the information, the data and the performance and the metrics. And most importantly, everyone in here will recognise that the heavy lifters, the foot soldiers of sustainability, are operators in the community who service our visitors and markets. So I wanted to congratulate the Azores for all their hard work. We look forward to following their performance into the future, and we're committed to being their partner. Thank you.
Eventos dedicados à sustentabilidade, precisamente aqui na Ilha Terceira, os Açores. Em primeiro lugar, porque se trata de uma oportunidade única de promover a nossa região internacionalmente no âmbito da sustentabilidade no nosso destino. Mas também por ser mais uma ação concreta do Governo dos Açores na captação de eventos, fora cá alta, permitindo combater a sazonalidade e distribuindo fluxos por todas as ilhas. Neste caso, beneficiando a Terceira, uma ilha com enorme riqueza e com um cariz cultural muito forte, que espero que todos os que aqui estão, em especial os que se encontram pela primeira vez, tenham a oportunidade de sentir e experienciar. Mas permitam-me partilhar convosco algumas notas sobre o caminho do turismo dos Açores. Nos dias de hoje, Falar de turismo é, numa primeira instância, fazer com que o local seja global, tornando as suas tendências cada vez mais abrangentes, ao mesmo tempo que se especializam em segmentos de mercado e produtos que valorizam as características locais, num contexto que se quer sempre mais internacional.
Who GSTC is, what is our mission, what are our activities? Some of you know us very well, so hopefully there'll be some updates of interest for you.
Put them into the package we have of approximately 41 in each set. These are really the core issues. They're not weighted because they've already been condensed into what the inclusive group thinks are the core pieces that need to be.
It shouldn't take long. It will.
From my side of things, one thing I want to say.
And we said, well, yeah, we have some criteria here that we're going to talk about.
So we are the licensing body and we are also the regulator, and then making them part and parcel of that movement.
Okay, let me just start by saying that every single one of us is a hypocrite. Okay, and I think we just have to acknowledge this.
Talks with Barcelona, which is one of the places I'm trying to give advice to, we've been looking at, well, actually, we need to have an indicator for the performance of your tourist destination board, which is what is the percentage of your business that's certified.
Yeah, when you think as a travel trade association, we have to take the lead because, like, lots of the members are tour operators, retail agencies are very good in the operational day of life, really focused on operational issues, and we think that we have to set the dots on the horizon, as that we have to take the lead, and that we have to reduce the negative impacts of tourism and enhance the positive impacts.
I think a bit, and I'm biased as a filmmaker, but I think a big part in this industry, I've always been frustrated, like a lot of people here, that sustainable tourism, ecotourism, whatever we want to call it, is an outlier. I think a big part of this is really just a simple celebration, support, admiration, recognition for the leaders, for the innovators out there in the hotel industry, in the operator, inbound, outbound, for destinations. I mean, just to use the example of Palau, the Palau Pledge, which came out about a year and a half ago. Now you have a destination like Mauritius, again, in a positive way. Which is devoted to the theme Stopping the Flood of Plastic, and it's supported by WWF. We have as a moderator Nicola Kosho, who is a sustainable tourism consultant working with GSTC. In fact, as a GSTC trainer, we were together these last 2 days, and is also a WWF representative at Global Sustainable Tourism Council. So, Nicola, I think I'll pass the words for you, and you can present the panelists, but also the keynote speaker that we have today. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you so much. I would like to welcome my panel. Hello everyone, I will introduce you in a bit. First of all, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Martina von Mühlhausen. She's the Director of Sustainable Tourism at WWF, and she will give us an inside view of the big topic of plastic waste pollution in our oceans. Welcome, Martina, the stage is yours.
2016 resulted in about 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide emissions, which accounts almost 6% of the year's total global carbon dioxide emissions.
For companies that that have tours, there are these fantastic filter bottles. If you've got one of these, you never need to buy another bottle of water again because they filter even water from a muddy puddle. There are things like plastic bags made of cassava, you know, practically so kind of biodegradable you could eat it. Straws that don't, you know, they don't melt when they go into liquids. But to also reference the comment that was made in the presentation by Martina, there are other products and things like this wooden comb are an example. That actually, what benefit does that give to customers? Is it really something we need to provide anymore, rather than just replacing? Should we just get rid of the combs altogether?
So they ask WWF how to support them, and then well, they also want to marketing what they are doing. So we start with single-use plastic first. So we set up, so they can be, some of them already done before we start, but some don't know how to do. So we start telling them that maybe you can start from where you can.
With us and whatever. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to the city of Praia da Vitória. I'm Tiago Armond, the City Council of Praia da Vitória.
In a few moments we will have a small cultural showing of our traditions. Next up to it, to your left, you will have a welcome drink as well as the dinner. Thank you for your time and enjoy your stay here in our island.
It's got a very beautiful name, Viola da Terra. Terra means land, earth, dirt, it means a lot of stuff. And viola, of course, you know what it means.
It's called Sustainable and Responsible Procurement. And who best to come and lead this session than Mr. Randy Durbin, the CEO of GSTC. Mr. Randy, good morning. If you come up to the stage, please do.
Well, good morning. I fear you're probably tired of me by now, but here I am. No. How sweet. Sustainability. Many people say it's love. We have on Facebook live streaming, and we have the hashtag GSTC2019. So please post Facebook and throughout social media about these events. So just want to make sure that you saw that to post back home to everybody what you're doing here. Also wanted to mention this is that our friend Kirsi, working in the Balkans in Southeast Europe, has very kindly coordinated the translation of the GSTC criteria into several Southeastern Europe Balkan languages. So thank you very much, Kirsi. We want to acknowledge that. That's going up live on our website. Thank who else? My team, I'm sure. Here you are. Thank you kindly. Stand up, please.
everybody. I'm Jane Ashton, TUI Group. To use Andrew's phraseology, I've been banging my head against the wall for 10 to 50 years trying to make our supply chain more sustainable, so it's a real treat for me to spend a few days with you guys and have the opportunity to reflect back on where we've got to and listen to your ideas as how you think we're doing and how we can do better. TUI Group, a lot of you will be familiar with us, but quite a lot of you, I believe, aren't. So we're the world's largest integrated tourism business, comprising hotels, airlines, destination experience companies, cruise ships, and critically also major tour operators in most of the European Union's largest countries, so UK, Germany, France, Netherlands, Belgium, Nordics, etc.
In 2018, the Costa Rican Tourism Board launched a new version of this program, the GSTC2019, and which complies with the Global Sustainable Tourism Council criteria.
Hello, I'm Alex. I'm the founder of Fair Voyage. Yesterday, someone in the audience of one of the panels asked the question, where are the startups in the room? Here they are. So big credit to Randy and the GSTC. Thanks a lot for giving me, as a young startup founder, a voice here at the conference. I'm a newcomer in sustainable travel. I only entered the industry less than 3 years ago. I know a lot less about sustainability on the ground than all of you in this room do. But what I can do is share my perspective from the markets, from the consumer side, and maybe also the investment side of things.
It's an obvious demand that why not one logo. I know there have been bodies like Tourism Concern in the UK, which has studied golf now and so on, that have been trying for years to get agreement on a single standard. And in a way, the GSTC could be a stepping stone to that, potentially and so on. But, so if you just respond quickly to us about the difficulties in getting there, that might be helpful.
Well, one of the difficulties is that when we came into existence, there were already 150 labels. And so what we did was try to sort that out by working towards an accreditation scheme as a means of sorting that out. And it took years to build a system, to build a very systematic approach. So now we're there. So now what we've said to those certification bodies that existed in the past that were co-brand, and we talk to national governments that really insist on having their national labels, we say make it compliant with GSTC so it can at least enter into these market access schemes on a B2B. But it is a huge problem of confusion. So what we need to do is have a coming together of everybody that's involved in certification bodies and understand, okay, you want to protect your brand and build your organization. Well, the consumer wants something else. We have to find a way to clarity. And it might help for us to get some very large players in the travel industry to step up and help sort this out. And then on the cost side, a lot of certification bodies, virtually all the certification bodies are struggling with scale. And so there's a cost side for them, and there's a marketing side for everyone. We have a problem. And so we're trying to work through solutions. We have to do this together. We don't have an enforcement mechanism to say to the world this is what's going to happen. I think the greatest enforcement mechanism would be very large tourism enterprises studying this and looking at it. Maybe trade associations taking the lead or something to help us sort this out. Because we're trying to work with all the different labels and come up with a cohesive scheme. But we're an NGO that's suggesting.
So, welcome before the last time. This is a very important session here. So, thank you for being here. We're going to discuss, I think, first of all, a following up of the earlier session, which is going to be, let's say, a very nice opportunity to discuss more about hotels, accommodation, how the supply chain could be more green, and some examples, because this was the discussion of the panel with the speakers, about how a hotel could be more sustainable, all right? 3 out of 4 global travelers, they would be more likely to book an accommodation that is eco-friendly, all right? But at the same time, 3 out of 5 would feel better about staying in such a hotel if they knew that it was sustainable. That's another thing, huh? If you were here yesterday in that room about greenwashing, greenhashing, this wasn't this discussion we had about how many of us know the status of the hotel that we are staying.
Renovation of a very old hotel with a spectacular locations. The first one is called Memo Bulgarian in Cyprus. Then 6 years after, we decided to move on to Lisbon, and we opened our first property, the small boutique hotel in the historical area of the city. It's called Memo Alfama. And 2.5 years ago, we have opened our first 5-star property in Prince Real neighborhood. Just for you to understand, Memo comes from memories. That's the promise that we make to our guests. And chameleon, the logo, means that we try to adapt each hotel to the specific location where they are.
The big new here is the battery power plants of 4.5 megawatt power and 2.6 megawatt hour of usable capacity. With this battery power plant, of course, we do storage of energy. That's the key factor here. But more important than the storage is that with the set of the battery and a power converter, we can emulate the behavior of a diesel generator, because most of the grids nowadays they rely on the diesel generators to set the frequency and the voltage, and we emulate that behavior with the power converters together with the battery. That's why we can totally turn off the engines down on Roosevelt Island.
Responsible business, we focus on the difference between green technology versus clean technology. And what does that mean? Green technology is any type of investment that does not bring you a return on investment. For example, oftentimes here in hotels they're using LED lighting or flow control units. So that's an example of green technology. And clean technology is any type of investment that does bring a return on investment. For example, the example we saw right now was renewable energy.
Destination representatives here, and there are quite a lot of types of destinations that share many traits of management challenges, but there are of course some that share specific and a little bit different traits. In this session, we will focus on a few issues facing island and marine destinations, which can be quite sensitive. We'll have examples and insight from 3 GSTC destination members.
Good afternoon, everyone. I truly hope that my voice doesn't interfere with the quality of my presentation. I'll give my best where I'll give my best. And please feel free to interrupt me whenever you feel like you're not getting the message. Well, as was said by Roy, I'm going to be talking about whale hunting to whale watching. If my voice was okay, it would sound like a history that I was going to tell you. But nevertheless, I will do it the best I can. From the 17th century onwards, Western commercial whaling began to expand to all oceans. Although in the Azores, the relationship with cetaceans might have started with settlement in the 15th century, as they are referenced from the Azores historian English by Toulouse, 15th and 16th centuries. That mention uses the name has fats, bones, and dead whales washed ashore for the production of fuel and building material.
We wanted me to focus on how we coordinate cross-agency, cross-government, along with our partners because it takes quite a bit of coordination. The Cayman Islands has 3 islands. Most of you may be aware of Grand Cayman. It is the largest and most popular.
Any interest that will come out from investors or government things, believes a priority area for us to focus on, we go with that. The challenge we've seen with that is, we all know, we exhaust all our available resources, minimum resources that we have, and at the end of the day, we do not achieve anything. The timing of developing this policy is good because we're starting to see the growth in the tourism industry, and with the help of the New Zealand government, we've asked for a proper consultation to be done.
The moderator for this panel, we have Ms. Anna Pollock, founder of Conscious Travel. And as panelists, we have Dr. Dirk Schmucker, that's a hard name for me, head of research at Institute for Tourism Research in the Northern Europe in IT. Is that correct? And then Jeppe Klokkersen, perfect, founder of Fair Travel and GSTC representative for Sweden. Hey, Terry. And Sarah Mare Belshaw, project manager for Slow Adventure at Center for Recreation and Tourism Research. So, here's the opportunity to exchange ideas. Please enjoy. Thank you.
Full conference, and we hope that we can keep that standard up in this panel. The first thing we've done is reverse the title. So we're going to look initially at consumer trends. And we're very lucky to have Professor Schmucker with us because he comes from an institute, he heads the institute.
I looked up in the statistics that 50,000 of them came to the Azores last year, making it rank 2 after Portugal.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are we all doing here? You still awake? Good, good. I got the feeling that we need to sort of refresh you a bit. So I'm thinking, should I perhaps sing you a song? I'm not going to do that. Definitely not, because I want you to stay here. Basically, what we saw here, these statistics, is very, very interesting. Now, I don't have those kind of statistics. I don't even have a presentation. I'm going to go a bit old school, based it on sort of the impressions that I've got for actually the past year and a half. I'm going to tell you a short story going back to September 2018, as we had elections, governmental elections in Sweden. And as I also in my business, I do representation, I do sales and marketing representation for foreign-based companies. I do quarterly reports, which I write back to these companies. And I recall back in September 2018 that I wrote a report where I mentioned that there was this one girl, a teenager, who decided to sit down outside Parliament every Friday to strike for the sake of the climate. And you all know who that girl is. That is Greta Thunberg. And I recall writing a report, and I'm actually gonna read right from the paper what I wrote in that report. This girl's action is getting more and more attention, and I'm one of her biggest fans. She's a real inspiration. I'm certain that her actions will cause repercussions globally and even on our industry, travel and tourism that is. We will be challenged and we will feel the effects. Now, going forward from that point, a couple of months onwards, I think it was around the time of December, January, when I started getting phone calls from operators in Sweden. All of a sudden they were asking me, what is happening? People are not booking as they used to. People are starting to cancel their trips because of what this girl is doing, this Greta Thunberg. And it was kind of amusing to me to see this, but also it meant that I was right, that this was to have a repercussion, but it also sort of what I've been embarking on for the past 15 years, that all of these operators, you need to be prepared because the change is going to come. We need to face sustainability. We need to take this seriously.
How can we turn this concept of slow adventure and turn it into a business context? How can we put a parameter on it for businesses and for destinations? And so we looked at the consumers, or who is the slow adventure consumer, and we looked at the trends, and we conducted desktop research, we conducted email panels in 8 different cities around the world to see, well, these are the kind of consumer trends, and how can we meet these consumer trends by developing new experiences around the
The biggest challenge with this concept of sustainability is that we're not sure what we're sustaining, and it doesn't really inspire us. What do we actually want for our loved ones? And this is what I suggest we want. It's every one of those things. We want our children to be well, our loved ones to be healthy. We want them to have a sense of vitality. We want them to be becoming all that they can become, really addressing their internal essence, their potential. It's all about aliveness and joy and so on. The words that we're using, and we've introduced this in Flanders as an alternative to just growing, are prosperity and flourishing and thriving. These are words that tend to inspire because they're open enough that you can create under that umbrella your own definition of what that looks like.
Those that focus on sustainability, we cannot change the basic behavior of human beings. They want to get on cruise ships, they want to go to this kind of resort, they want to fly, they want to get on trains, they want to do this and that. We don't have the power to impact market forces as intellectual sustainability people. The 7.6 billion people on the planet are pursuing all sorts of activities and behaviors that they want to do, and a tiny group of them are really focused on changing that. And so I think that that tiny group of us have to figure out strategies and ways to make those huge numbers of people who are traveling.
Yes, well, I probably have the toughest presentation of the day, actually, following that fabulous presentation. Talk about please come next year, and don't feel ashamed to come to our region of the world that has really been focused on sustainable and sustainable development. And just to give you a sense, I've spoken in a previous presentation, but for those of you that weren't there, our region is about 71,000 square kilometers in size and exactly the same size as Ireland. We have 90 communities and 33 indigenous communities. We're on the Pacific side of Canada. We have the highest mountain in the Canadian Rockies to Canada's only true desert environment.
Basta fazer sinal, soprado na brisa do mar ou no raio do sol. Sempre que o amor me quiser, sei que não vou dizer não. Resta-me ir aonde ele for e esquecer de mim.
I think we'll be able this time to progress on many grounds. On some issues, I think we are a bit hopeless, we don't have way of reaching out, but on many other issues, I think we really progressed. The value of the criteria, the value of the accreditation, certification, destination stewardship, and really had a sense of progress. And I think that's very important. Then the organization and hospitality, I think we're really so warmly welcome here. We had this beautiful coffee break with all the local products and these beautiful dinners and excellent organizations, all the staff. in the conference room and everywhere. So I won't be much longer, but back to the table. I would like everyone to raise a glass and make a toast to our host, and hope to see you all next time in Okanagan, invited by our friend Glenn. Thank you.
Cheers. Cheers.
Because I started to talk with them. So here I will get all of you. Yeah, we were trying to adapt to this, so we were in the if you break it, you will feel. Did you? So, they say it's a rare drink for it. Not very common.
Intensive, very intense.
Wow, I like it. It's like, what do you use this for? Alright. She's not cosmetics. These are the most common ones. Today we call it the last wall. This is where they used to live. And he became, for a very short period, the king of Portugal. If you get to visit more islands, this one is the rainbow, no doubt here. Yes, colors, colors. You can see it all around. They even have a joke. They say, hey, if my neighbor to the right is red, the other neighbor to the left is blue, I shall be yellow, pink, whatever green, never repeat the color.
Do you want me to show your the nails? Like, they were done before the conference, but whatever.
They're gone now.
They're gone now.
Yeah, no, I get it. So, but here, no, nice spacing. Yeah, they did okay.
This is the right
This
place.
is so good.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Just look how beautiful that over there too.
Yeah, the light.
It is amazing over there.
One day all this will be yours, my son.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed your stay here in Terceira Island. For those, I hope you enjoyed our environment, for those who are related to the environment. I think we're not at the end of the list, but there's always something else that we can do about it. Our group is Group Folclórico Modas da Nossa Terra, which means folk dance songs of our land.
Sustainability.